What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Alchemy Pay today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are, sitting at about a 13% pump right now. Last I checked, it was 11%. So 2.8 cents now. You've gone to a high today of about 3 cents. Found some resistance there, and that's pretty sensible because you found resistance right here. The previous area you found support. Previous area you found support. You even found a little bit of resistance on this day here. Going back in time, it doesn't seem like there's really any significance on this level, so I don't expect this to hold as too much resistance. But as of now, you could, you might be on hold before going higher. I'm not saying that you are. Let's just see. Let's decipher that actually and see if we can figure this out. So, looking at your daily RSI, I don't know about you guys, but I really love it whenever anything bounces off the 40, which is what you did, in combination with higher lows. In combination with overbought readings but no oversold readings, you look pretty damn good. So no, it doesn't stop here. On a daily aspect, over the days, over the weeks, probably even over the month and a half to come, you will overcome this high, which will break you out of this overall consolidation phase that you've been in for almost 2 years, basically 2 years. Quite literally 2 years. So that's coming. That's what the daily RSI tells me. But I want to see if you're going to pull back from here, if you're on the moon mission right now, or if you've got a little bit of turbulence along the way. Let's look at the 1 hour just to determine this. Okay, so I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. By the way, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. I don't know if I said that, but here you are. Okay, that's a lot of volume. That's nice. It's good to see this much volume come in, right? Look at the lack of volume on this consolidation phase. Generally, consolidation phases end when you're at your lowest points of volume, and then you break out, you choose your side, and you get volume to back it up. It all looks good to me. That's a nice reading too in the RSI. You hit a reading that you haven't seen since the end of January, so about a month ago, just under a month ago, but still hitting the 90s is nice. Coming out of it generally would spell a correction, but you've already corrected. I don't know if you go lower, man. You might just be moving up from here. Let's see. Hold on. Let's look at this low. Nope, that was not the low. I think it's clear that was not the low. That's the low right there. Previous, look at what you did, bro. Look at what you did. So you found resistance here at prior areas of resistance and support and support and support. And you rejected it. Of course you did. But what you're doing is rather constructive, because now you're finding support at other areas of resistance and support that are relative to this as well. And on your RSI, you hit the 90. You've cooled way the hell off. You're still maintaining higher lows, hopefully. And if you bounce, man, if you bounce above the 50, you guys, not only is this move not over, but it's just getting started. And of course, we knew that from the daily aspect, but I want to see in this like relative short-term daily aspect or hourly aspect what we're going to do for the remainder of the day. We do have 44 minutes and 30 seconds left in this hour. It might be too early to say. Until we have an hourly close, it's not really worth calling for a bounce here, but the price, where you're at in the price, where you're at in the RSI, it feels right to me. So let's just, by the time most of you watch this is the 16th hour of the day. If this 16th hour closes green, you're moving up. If it closes red, well, you might move down a little bit lower. How much lower would you move down to? Let's see, low to high here. You might move down to your golden ratio. Yeah, and look at that. You're right at your 0.5. How many cryptos, how many times over the last days have you guys heard me, if you've watched any of my analysis on any coins, like half the videos we find significance on the 0.5. I want you to be aware that's not something that's normal. Normally, you don't find significance on the 0.5 at all. But charts have this thing where they, and in crypto, especially niches, I'll kind of explain myself real quick. They have this way about going through like personality changes or phases, like a trend, right? A trend. Sometimes the 618 is the most well respected. Sometimes it's the 886 that's the most well respected. Sometimes and oftentimes it's not the 0.5, but in moments like this, it is the 0.5, and it seems like it's all around the crypto space, right? And the reason for this, or at least my thoughts are, is that a lot of cryptos are on exchanges. I would assume that the market makers for one coin on an exchange are the same as the market makers for the next coin on an exchange, or at least they probably have the same game plan, or they're using the same bots that are all congruent with the same servers or processing systems that they have to do these market making protocols, whatever it is. It's all the same, right? Crypto, it's like all the same to a certain degree. So wouldn't it make sense that the trading algorithms, that the traders themselves, if they notice a trend in a variety of cryptos, that they might notice that same trend continue in across the space. I don't know how much sense that makes or not. I'm just trying to make sense out of it. What I'm trying to say is treat it like a person. Treat this like a teenage girl, right? Scarves are in right now. The scarf is number 5. If you don't like the teenage girl analogy, treat it like it's a teenage boy, and backwards caps, snapbacks are all the craze right now, okay? But it's just right now. In time, and likely this won't happen for too much longer, right? Within a month or 2 months, we're probably going to stop finding as much significance at the 0.5 across the space as we are now. There will always be charts that find significance on the 0.5s. It's just random, but right now it's definitely a trend. It's definitely a trend, right? Treat it like a personality, right? It's just a fad. It's here today, it's gone tomorrow, and then the next trend. And if you can identify these, it can help you with trading and analysis on certain things, because generally, if I'm looking at this the way I'm looking at it now, from a low to a high, there's no doubt in my head that you go to the golden ratio. There's no sensible reason for me to think any other reason, other than the fact that I've been noticing across the space, we've been finding support at the 0.5, of which you seem to do right now. That's not the normal thing. Normally in this position, I would have no doubts at all, but this is why it helps us, because then it helps us make, even though it's the obvious call, it helps us make the right call instead of the wrong call, right? So what I'm getting by that is we don't have confirmation. We don't know for sure. My guess is that you don't go down to 2.65 cents or 2.61 cents. My guess is that you don't go down there, but if you don't bounce here, that's where you're going to go, okay? That's where you would go if you were to go lower. If we go down here, I'm not going to be like, I was right, I told you, even though, yes, I'm calling for that to a certain degree, but what I'm really calling for is that you do bounce here. I think that you do bounce here. You're on the 1 hour time frame. You've got a rather robust, rather fierce looking RSI, guys. Today, by the end of today, you're going to be above this high if I'm right and you bounce here. So again, 16th hour, look at it. If it's red, you're going down to this area, maybe even a little bit lower. If it's green, you're probably going to do what I'm about to tell you you're going to do. You're going to go up, right? And you're going to go up to where? If you found resistance here, just using our eyes right there, that was your first kind of stopping point. Of course, it would be when you broke out of here. Of course, this is your first stopping point. Where would the next stopping point be? You guys are going to get a kick out of this. Let's see. Well, the most obvious one to me seems like this, okay? That seems, I mean, right? Resistance, support. You got a shelf up here. You broke through it, you found resistance, you tore back down. But there's one that's a little bit less obvious that I also want to point out, and that it kind of comes at the peak here, right? You're finding some support in this area, some resistance in this area, some support right here before you fell down. It's not the most clear, but this could be an area of turbulence right here at about 3.8 cents. So something you by the end of today, Alchemy Pay. Let's just see actually before I say that. When is the end of the day? You're on the 16th hour now, so the end of the day is not too far away. It's right here. So maybe not by the end of today, by the end of tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, starting out the week, I would think you achieve a price that's around 4 cents, if not above 4 cents. 3.8 cents to 4.4 cents is where I think you're going next. Now let's see if we can make sense out of that on the fibs. Using our eyes is nice, but what about the fibs? Don't you just love it whenever the lines, using our eyes, it makes sense with the fibs? Don't you just love it? I love it, right? The 0.5, the area that we just found support at, that's the next area that I would deem as a sensible area for resistance to find, right there at 3.8 cents. It's right there at the 0.5. The area that you're finding support at now on this relative 0.5, that could be where you go to next for resistance. This next line up here that we drew that was at this very obvious shelf, that's at the upper limits of your golden ratio. So basically, you're either going to find resistance here at your 0.5 like you're doing now for support, or you're going to go to your golden ratio, either of which are very normal in these kind of situations, right? Normally, the 0.5 is not normal just for what crypto's been doing. It is rather normal right now. So I feel pretty good about that. You know, I would think, if not by the end of tomorrow, if not by the end of Monday, certainly by Tuesday. But you're on your way. It doesn't stop here. And just looking at the 1 hour time frame, I mean, I would think you really could be there by the end of today, but it might be more like you're moving up there by the end of today, and then tomorrow on Monday you have that last little push up to 3. I do think you find resistance around 3.8 to 3.9 cents. I think you do. I don't think you go to the golden ratio. You'll probably have that last little push to open up the day, and then you'll spend Monday, maybe even Tuesday, correcting, is what I think. Whatever day it is, whether it's Monday, whether it's Sunday, whatever day it is that you find resistance at your 0.5, or if you go up to your golden ratio and you surpass my expectations, that would be great. But whatever day it is that you find turbulence in this area, you probably spend the next day or two consolidating back to your 382 and then getting ready for a rip up to end the week. That's kind of my expectations at the moment. I hope that's clear. I hope the path forward is clear. If it is, hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We'll do a quick little wrap up here Looking at the 15-minute time frame, you got a noticeably lower low here in your RSI with a noticeably higher low in your price. That's a good thing, right? We look at this. This almost looks like a harmonic pattern. Where's Mr. Hat, man? Mr. Hat, you are better with harmonics than I am, at least at identifying. Look at it. Just right off the 0.5, coming up to the 382. To validate that you are bouncing off of this, besides just closing the 16th hour green, I think if you can get any 15-minute time frames to close, I would say 2 15-minute time frames in a row to close above 2.88 cents. If you can do that, then you will likely go higher. That likely solidifies this as the low once you close above this line, just on a 15-minute time frame. Really a 30-minute period. We need 2 15-minute time frames in a row to close above 2.88 cents. When you do that, just understand that within the next 24 hours or so, you're going to be moving up to about 3.8 to 3.9 cents, if not as high as about 4.4 to 4.5 cents. After that, sometime early in the week, next week, in the next couple days, once you hit those prices, you'll probably spend a day or two consolidating, correcting. And then by the end of the week, I would expect you pick things back up again, and you're going to prices that are beyond 4 cents, probably pressing the highs of this range going into the end of the week, and maybe the following week, the end of February, we're looking to break out of this, seeing new cycle highs, and then getting set up for March, where we're going to go inevitably, which I guess we can end the video on that note, because that's a good note. Where are you going to go by the end of this move? Where are you going to go by the end of this breakout? My thoughts, Alchemy Pay, are that at a bare ass minimum, you're going to 11.3 cents. At the maximum, you're going to 24 cents. You might even go just above that. I don't generally call for a move that's below the golden ratio to move up above the 886 area here. But the reason why is because this is a powerful phase of consolidation, you guys. It's a very powerful phase of accumulation. That shelf, whenever it breaks, I have no doubt you're going to rip. It genuinely wouldn't surprise me if by the end of this move at the end of March, if Alchemy Pay was at new all-time highs. Just be prepared for that, okay? Be prepared for that, because what does new all-time highs mean? You're at 2.7 cents now. 24 cents is your all-time high. You could genuinely see from here a 10x within the next month or so. Genuinely. Does that mean that you're going to do a 10x? No. That's, I could see it happening. I mean, shit, you could do a 20x, 21x maybe. But at a minimum, at a bare minimum, I'm expecting a 4x from here. Bare minimum. Likely, you'll see something that's a 5.7x or bigger. Or bigger, okay? 5.7 or bigger is what I'm expecting. 4x at a minimum. The highest I could see you doing is like a 20-something X from here, but that just seems a bit ridiculous. I don't normally call for this, but something between the 1272 and the 100, I bet you find resistance in here. I want to see, what about the relative fibs? I keep trying to end the video, but man, it's hard. It's hard whenever I'm on this right train of thought. 2272, right there, right above it. Perfect. Yeah. Maybe that's where you go. 30 cents by the end of March. Anything between 30 and 11 cents, likely closer to 30 is what I'm thinking, if not 30 itself. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'm glad that Alchemy pays up today. I'm glad that it made us all feel like we woke up sexy as hell again, right? That's a good thing. I don't know. I don't know. I just had to do that, I suppose. Anyways, take it easy, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.